Do you have a statement for the speaker? Is there anything you want to say?
Okay, hindi, ganito lang. Okay, if we are serious, babalik na naman ako.
Oh, go.
If we are serious, ilabas natin yung ginawa ng small committee noong 2025 budget. Pakita natin, o doon tayo magsimula. Kasi doon natin makikita kung ano yung pagkakamali.
And have Zaldico report and answer.
No, because
Yes.
kasi siya yung
chairman.
head nung ano na yun eh.
Oo.
Oh. So dapat sabihan si Saldi, ilabas mo yan. Diba? Papakita natin. Pakita natin sa publiko kung ano ba yung ginawa natin doon sa small committee.
All right, joining us this morning on Hot Copy, we have with us Navotas Representative Toby Tiangco. Toby, welcome to Head Start.
Yes.
Okay, welcome.
Morning.
It's been a while. It's been a while. Okay.
Good morning.
You are the topic on social media, but before we talk, before we start this interview, I'd like to show you a clip of the State of the Nation address of President Marcos Jr., wherein netizens noticed that it was Representative Tiangco who stood first and clapped in one of the main points of the president's speeches. Take a look.
For the 2026 national budget, I will return any proposed general appropriations bill that is not fully aligned with the national expenditure program. And further, I am willing to do this even if we end up with a reenacted budget.
All right, so that was the closing of President Marcos Jr.'s speech. So, Toby, I think tell us the story. You were the first to stand up. You were the first to stand up, clap, give a rousing applause when the president said that. Why? Why?
Okay, balik natin sa context. Tandang-tanda ko, yung unang sinabi niya doon is mahiya naman kayo. Di ba? Mahiya naman kayo. O sinimulan niya yan sa mga kickback, mga initiative, mga errata. At tapos sinundan niya ng mahiya naman kayo, di ba? Ang sinasabihan niya yun kami. Congress ang sinasabihan niya noon, di ba? Kasi doon sa initiative, sino bang nakakagawa ng initiative? Congress. Sino bang nakakagawa ng errata? Congress, di ba? So, may SOP, may for the boys. Siguro, iba-iba na nakikinabang dyan. Pero kami sinasabihan niya noon. And doon sa end, the fact na yung tinapos na yon na sinabi niya isusuoli yung budget. So, it was directly addressed to Congress. So, tuwang-tuwa ako kasi finally, yung frustration doon sa 2025 budget, nakakahiya kasi, di ba, na it's described as the most corrupt budget. Tapos, yung iba, sinisisi si Presidente not knowing na up to July 29, meron pa siyang hindi rini-release na insertions of about 83 to 84 billion. Kasi,
really?
Yes! Yan hindi alam ng tao, di ba? Kasi ang nangyari nung una, galit sila sa House. Tapos galit sa Kongreso dahil doon sa nangyari, di ba? Tapos nung napirmahan niya, pati siya nadamay doon sa hindi naman niya kasalanan. Okay, 'di ba? Tapos sinabi bakit ito lang binito. But yung hindi niya pag-release ng 80 plus billion up to July 29 is parang binito na rin niya eh.
Without saying it.
Hindi lang kasi maabutan noon kasi nga ang fear yata noon is the reenacted budget. So ngayon sinasabi niya kung ang gagawin nyo, ibibigay nyo sa akin yan para mapilitan ako dahil iniisip nyo. I mean, I'm reading between the lines na papayag ako kasi ayoko na reenacted budget. Hindi na lang. Reenacted na lang tayo. So kaya tuwang-tuwa ako. Tsaka nakita ko kasi grabe talaga yung 2025 budget.
Grabe ang ano?
Hindi, unang-una, di ba? Unang-una yung small committee. Kasi bakit ba yung small committee? Kasi yung iba, ang kino-concentrate nila is BICAM, di ba? Yung BICAM, sa huli na yan. Ang unang paraan o unang opportunity na magkaroon ng insertion or amendment is doon sa small committee. Kasi ang nangyayari dyan, magkakaroon ng hearing, di ba? Budget hearings. Then interpellation. Isipin mo, magtatanungan kami. Ang tagal, siguro halos 2 buwan yon, tapos inaabot ng gabi. And then, lahat ng bills na pinapasa namin, wag muna yung budget, lahat ng bills, ang rule dyan sa House is committee amendments. After the interpellation, after magdebate, syempre ma-realize ng committee baka dapat may amendments. So, introduce nila committee amendments. And then, pagkatapos noon, yung members are free to introduce their individual amendments. Okay? Free to introduce their individual amendments. Tapos, tsaka mo aprubahan ng second reading, tapos wala nang babaguhin.
Dapat.
Tama? Dapat. Doon sa budget, na pinaka-importanting batas, baligtad ang nangyayari. So, magkakaroon ng committee amendments. Tapos ng committee amendments, magmo-motion ang majority to discuss the individual amendments. But they will move to create a small committee of 4 persons. Chairman ng Committee on Appropriations.
That was Zaldico?
Yes. Senior Vice Chairman ng Committee on Appropriations. Majority Leader and Minority Leader. So,
Sila lang?
Sila lang. No, then ganyan.
Oh.
So, i-nominate yan. Then we will approve on second reading, but giving them authority to accept the individual amendments and to decide on the individual amendments. Paano nangyari yun? So, ibig sabihin, in-approve namin itong version na to, tapos yung small committee, binigyan namin ng kapangyarihan na baguhin kung ano man yung in-approve namin. At yun na ang magiging final version. Pagbalik namin pagkatapos ng bakasyon, makukuha namin yung libro.
Bago na.
Kung ano yung ginawa ng small committee,
at
yun
may
na yun.
dagdag.
May dagdag, may bawas. Hindi naman pwedeng puro dagdag eh. Kasi hindi mo pwedeng lakihan yung budget, di ba? Kung 100 piso yan, 100 piso, iikot-ikutin mo na. So may mababawasan, may madadagdagan. Eh, in-approve mo na. Paano ka pa aangal doon? Hindi ka na pwede umangal. Dahil sa third reading, yes or no na lang yun. Wala nang amendments. So yun ang sinasabi ko na baguhin, di ba? Okay. Pumayag silang baguhin. Pero hindi sila nag-commit na yung individual sabi nila gagawa ng subcommittee on budget
transparency.
Subcommittee on budget amendments. Yan ang ano. Pero hindi sila nag-commit na individual amendments will be discussed in plenary. So bakit hindi mo i-discuss? Ang sinasabi nila kasi there are 1,000 lines to a budget, matagal kung individual amendments. Ang punto ko naman, lahat ng bill ginagawa namin kung matagal yan, trabaho namin yun, bait namin iso-shortcut. Diba? Di, gawin natin. Hindi ko naman sinasabing lahat ng amendments ay masama. Okay, liwanagin natin. I'm not saying all amendments are bad. May mabubuting amendments. So, gawin natin transparent sa public. I move that we reduce this amount from this department and transfer it to this department. Maliwanag kasi walang madadagdag kung hindi mo babawasan yung ibang ahensya. Okay, so, ngayon, Karen.
Yeah.
Ngayon, konektado lang dito sa sinabi ng Pangulo na mahiya naman kami. Parang hindi kami nahiya. Kasi kami sinabihan na mahiya kami pa yung mag-iimbestiga ngayon. Okay. Paano naman mangyayari yun? Okay, so ang sabi ko, kung seryoso kayo, okay, to show good faith, ang first step, ilabas nila yung amendments ng small committee noong 2025 budget.
That's a good start.
Kung ayaw nila ilabas yan, wala, lokohan lang to.
Okay, so we're gonna show the viewers a graphic right now of the amendments made to the 2025 budget. I want you to explain this.
Okay.
So let's show this right now. So to the audience, what you're seeing right now, first is the 2025 NEP. That's the first line.
Hindi, ganito, Karen.
Ipaliwanag mo.
Pinili ko, kasi di ba, there are 200 plus districts, di ba? So hinanap ko kung sino yung distrito na may pinakamalaking budget for 2025. So, balik natin.
Balik natin yun. Okay? Alright.
Yung GAA, yan na yung na-approve sa General Appropriations Act. So, ibig sabihin, yung NEP niya, 2025 NEP, ang proposed ng DPWH is 2.530 billion. Pero nung lumabas yung GAA, naging 20,999 ang isang 20 billion 999 million ang isang distrito. Nadagdagan siya ng 18 billion 469 million.
Isang distrito
Isang
lang yan?
distrito. Tapos, yung isang distrito, ito, second place, ang NEP niya is, galing to sa DPWH, in-extract ko lang yan, hindi ko inimbento yan. Binigay sa akin ng DPWH ito dahil nung pinag-aaralan namin yung mga pinag-aaralan namin nung Marso pa lang, kung ano ba talaga yung nangyaring kalokohan doon sa budget. Isang distrito, 1 billion 508 million 583. Ang gaan niya, 20 billion 795 million 429. Nadagdagan siya ng 19 billion.
Oo. Do you remember anong mga distrito
Alam ko,
to?
pero ayoko i-disclose. Pero
Okay.
kasi ang sinasabi ko, to be fair to the district congressmen, pwedeng nangyari yan nang hindi nila alam. Hindi kasi, di ba, lumabas na lang yan eh.
Oo.
Pero hindi pwedeng nangyari yan nang hindi alam noong chairman ng Committee on Appropriations. Yun ang
Okay.
Pwede balik natin
Balik natin. Oo.
ito mas ano kung bakit yung small committee.
Okay.
So balik tayo, ang total additional is 18 billion 469, di ba?
That's one district sa viewers natin. Pero ang na-discuss sa BICAM,
ang nasa BICAM is 5 billion 272 million na naka-FLR.
Oo.
Ibig sabihin, hindi release ni Presidente. So you have to give him credit, di ba? Hindi niya ni-release yung 5.2 billion. Yung nag-additional na 19 billion,
13.
hindi, yung 13, ang tanong ko,
Sana-
kung ang BICAM is 5.2 billion, ibig sabihin ba sa small committee ba? Ayaw nila ilabas, di ba? Paano na... Kasi doon sa BICAM records, 5.2 billion lang. So, saan nanggaling yung 13? Sa small committee ba? Okay, question yan. Yung isa naman, ang additional 19 billion 286 million 846, ang total BICAM is 4 billion 970 179. Hindi rin release ni Presidente yan. So I'm saying, alam ko, nagalit siya kasi hindi nga niya pinapa-release yung mga yan.
Ilan magkano ang hindi na-release ng Presidente?
Up to July 29, mga 84 billion.
Okay, 84 billion.
Yeah.
So the President didn't release the funds because he is doubtful, suspicious?
Hindi, pag-aralan mabuti. Tsaka doubtful. Kasi ang nakakapagtaka doon, yung iba, congressman ka, di ba? Hihingi ka ng project, dadalhin mo sa distrito mo. Yung iba, hiningi ng isang congressman, dinala niya sa ibang distrito. So how do you explain that?
How is that possible?
Hindi, kasi yung iba, sila proponent, pero hindi nila dadalhin doon sa distrito. Sa nakakapagtaka, bakit hindi mo dadalhin sa distrito? Di ba kung I work hard para madala ko sa distrito ko, para makinabang yung residente ko, tapos may mga ganon. So yung karamihan na naka-hold on is yung iba yung proponent, at iba yung district na pinuntahan.
Now, Toby, you have been a representative under many presidents already. This is not the first. Ilang taon mo na bang Congress?
This is my 5th time bumalik sa Congress.
Isipin mo, panglimang, is this the worst? Is this the most corrupt budget cycle you have ever witnessed in your life?
No, I remember I questioned already this procedure in my early, maybe first or second term in Congress. Pero wala, kasi, okay, balik natin. Sabi mo, nag-independent ako ngayon. This is the longest time I've been in the majority. Kasi yung buong 3 years nung 19th Congress, majority ako. Di ba? Tapos nung nagbotohan lang ng 20th Congress, tsaka ako nag-independent. Balikan natin, 15th Congress, I was a member of the majority for only 1 year. Kasi hindi ako sang-ayon doon sa proseso ng pag-impeach kay Chief Justice Corona. And I voluntarily left. Hindi ako tinanggal. I resigned my committee chairmanship. I said I'll be an independent. So, 15th Congress yun. So, 15th Congress, since same leadership sa 16th Congress, nag-independent rin ako nun. 17th Congress, I was for Binay. Natalo si Binay. I was being offered to join the majority. Out of delicadeza, natalo yung presidente ko. I will take the consequence.
Okay.
Hindi ako sumama kay Duterte. No. And bear in mind, Pinoy and Duterte in those times were very, very, very popular. So I will not go with what is popular. I will go with what is right.
Okay. Now, so my question is, how different is this budget, the way it was crafted, compared to everything you've witnessed in the past?
Hindi, doon talaga yung problema eh. Doon,
Yeah, but are the figures scandalous now?
Hindi, kasi iba, siyempre lumalaki naman yung economy. So lalaki talaga yung budget eh, 'di ba? It's ganun eh. Pero ito talaga, nagulat din ako because okay. Ganito, kaming mga congressman, pag lumabas yung budget, paano naman magsasabing it's enough? Di ba parang sa bahay yan eh, di ba? May budget, hindi enough pagkakasya. Kasi ang trabaho namin is paggawa yung mga kailangan, hindi kaya ipagawa ng local government na hihingin sa national government, di ba? Pag hindi naman namin ginawa yun, nagkulang naman kami kasi kami naman sisingilin. O sabihin tagal mo na dyan, wala kang napapagawa. Di ba? Ganon. So, pero, yung makapagdagdag ka nito, ngayon lang ako nakita.
Ngayon lang
ako nakita na makapagdagdag ka niyan. Kasi, lahat kami magre-request, ang hirap makapagdagdag siguro ng 1 billion o 1.5 billion.
Para sa proyekto.
Merong nakakapagdagdag ng 1.5 billion. Siyempre, yung mga malalapit sa speaker, mas malaki doon. Pero ito, grabe ito.
Oo.
Pero yung kaming mga ordinary congressmen, hindi kami makakapagdagdag doon. Di ba katulad, let's be very open, I'm perceived to be close. Di ba?
Because you are a relative in a way.
By affinity.
By affinity.
Yes.
Oo.
Hindi ako nakaka-request ng additional na 1 billion.
You can't?
Well, okay. Kaya nga sabi ko 2025 budget, walang dagdag na 1 billion sa akin.
Oo. So paano to? Itong mga distritong ito na itinuro mo, ang mga dagdag 18 billion, 19 billion.
From the NEP, from the NEP.
Oo, from the NEP. So, do you want wag na lang NEP ang basihan? Gaan na lang. Ano yung tamang basihan?
No, because this is the additional eh.
Yeah.
The NEP is the budget of the president. This is based doon sa proposal ng DPWH, ito ang para sa distrito na ito. So, paano nangyari yun? Siguro, para sa transparency, kaya nga tanong natin yung small committee. Saan ba yan? Sa small committee ba yan? O sa BICAM ba na dagdag? O saan?
Okay. Now, Representative Tiangco, were you not a part of the Appropriations Committee at one point?
I was vice chairman. Ang dinifensahan ko doon is...
Kasi baka mapulaan ka.
Hindi, okay lang.
Sabihin nila, bakit di mo...
I was not a member of the BICAM.
Okay.
I was never a member of the BICAM. I was not a member of the small committee. Ang dinipensahan ko doon, the last budget, for 3 budgets, ang dinipensahan ko doon is the should. And I think Office of the President. And this last budget, they let me defend agriculture.
Okay. So, in other words, you had no say
Wala akong
in effect.
alam dyan.
You had no say. Now, why would the President allow the Speaker, allow Appropriations Chair Zaldico to murder the budget?
Did he allow?
Okay.
Or didn't we remove? Okay, yeah, buti you brought that up. He's not getting, syempre sabihin, separation of powers, di ba? Bakit namin tinanggal si Zaldico?
Bakit?
Hindi, bakit? You read between the lines. Hindi galit yung presidente dun sa nangyari sa budget. Simple, di ba? Bakit namin tatanggalin? Alam namin galit siya dun sa nangyari sa budget. Kaya tinanggal.
Now, ito tanong to ng pangkaraniwang tao. Can the President rein in on the Speaker?
Karen, it's a difficult... sometimes I text the President some unsolicited suggestions, but the speakership is one thing. It's so sensitive kasi baka pag hinalaan ako na interesado lang ako sa posisyon ng speaker. So it's one thing na hindi ko siya makausap directly.
Were you ever a contender? Set the record straight. I'm reading, you were a contender. Albi Benitez was a contender. Were you making proactive moves to
No.
Speaker?
You name me one congressman na kinausap ko. Ang nangyayari noon is because nga, of course, mahirap to. Kasi wala naman aamin. And I understand why. Because nga, papapunta tayo doon sa susunod, natakot sila doon sa mga soft, di ba? But right after the elections, Madam, even up to the last day, even up to Sunday, ang tanong, wala pa bang utos ang Malacanang? Wala bang pagbabago? You can ask Albi, you can ask Duke. Ganon lagi ang tanong. Wala pa bang order? Kami nag-iintay lang kami. Kasi that started nung nagpapapirma sila, di ba? Remember, right after elections, hindi pa tapos yung 19th Congress, nagpapirma sila, di ba? So, madami nagsasabi sa akin, boss, I guess ganun tawag namin sa Congress, boss, yung iba, pasensya na. Hindi, naiintindihan ko. Then there were two big groups na sabi, yung isa, bago nga pumirma, tumawag pa sa akin, papaalam mo na kami. Walang problema kasi alam naman natin sa Congress, kahit anong pirmahan mo dyan, wala naman, doesn't mean anything. You can change your mind tomorrow. And then yung isa, ayaw nga pumirma, ako pa nagsabi, pumirma na kayo, maiipit lang kayo dyan. And hindi naman style ko yung mangdamay, di ba? If I can stand for it. Naiintindihan ko naman yung sitwasyon ng bawat congressman, di ba? Siyempre, pag naipit sila, kawawa yung mga constituents sila, di ba? Hindi naman sila yung nakakawawa eh. Yung constituents sila yung nakakawawa eh. So naiintindihan, ako nagsasabi, pirma lang kayo, pirma lang kayo. So up to the last day, madami nagtatanungan, wala pa bang go signal? Kasi alam naman natin, the most important vote for speaker is not inside Congress. There's only one. Di ba? Alam naman natin yun. So lahat nagtatanong, wala pa bang utos? Wala pa bang...
Now, is it true, were you really offered to be the new chairman of the Appropriations Committee? Because that's the word, that you were offered that.
That was the impression of a lot. Kasi nga, ang hindi alam ng mga tao, kaya ko alam lahat ito, hindi naman yan nagsimula nito lang eh. March pa lang yan.
Of 2024?
No, of 2025.
25, okay.
Kasi di ba ang nangyari, okay, ang hirap ng posisyon ni President, name me one big flagship project na napagawa. Bakit? Wala siya mapagawang flagship project kasi kinukuha ng Congress yung budget ng Presidente para sa malalaking proyekto.
That is terrible. Wow.
Hindi ba tas nilalagay nila doon sa ang program, appropriate ito, lalagay nila sa program para sigurado ang program mapupunta yung kanya. So
it's the president technically who's suffering from this.
Yes. Kaya nga alam ko yung pinanggagalingan, 'di ba? Kahit hindi directly, alam ko kami yung ano.
Yung mahiya naman kayo yun.
Kasi kayo yun. Kami yun. So paano namin imbestigahan sarili namin? So ang nangyari niyan, March 24, I was called to a meeting. Kasi ang nangyari, di ba? Okay, nawala yung flagship projects. Sino bang kumuha? Senado o House? So, ang alam ko, hiningan silang dalawa. Siyempre, sabi ng House, natural, Senate kumuha. Sabi ng Senate, House kumuha niya, di kami. So, hiningan sila ng listahan.
Ng Pangulo. Where it went.
Bigay niyo sa akin. Bigay niyo sa Senate, bigay niyo sa akin yung listahan. House, bigay niyo sa akin yung listahan. Si Cheese gave it within 3 days.
Really?
In January. Nung nasama ako sa meeting ng March 24, wala pa yung sa House. March na. So, hiningi ko, binigay ko. So, pinag-aralan ko yan magmula March. Ngayon, sinasabi mo Committee on Appropriations, hindi maganda tignan eh. Kasi kamag-anak na naman by affinity.
So, I think for the audience, some of our viewers may not be aware.
So, hindi maganda tingnan.
So, Representative Toby Tiangco's wife, Michelle, is the first cousin, right?
Yes.
Is the first, she's a Romualdez, she's the first cousin of House Speaker Martin Romualdez, right?
Yes.
So, technically,
NBBM.
So
they're all first cousins.
Yes, so that's one. Ayaw mo
Hindi sa ayaw ko. Hindi sa ayaw ko.
Hindi maganda.
Yun yung issue. I mean, give it again to the president. He realized that it's going to be an issue. Di ba? Kaya, we're not giving him credit. He realized that it was going to be an issue. Nasabihin, kamag-anak mo na naman linagay. Di ba? Hindi maganda parang speaker. Tapos,
APRO chair.
Hawak yung budget ng bansa.
And what about the majority floor leader? Same thing. Well, elected.
Hindi, elected yun.
Okay.
Pero, the president realized that. So you have to give him credit, di ba? So yun.
what is it?
Even Kong Sandro realized
Okay.
that na hindi maganda.
Okay. So I want to ask you, what's the problem with the president? Is he too nice?
Nakita mo naman, di ba? Sobrang gentle, di ba?
Okay. So,
sabi ko nung lumabas yung budget, magta 31 years na kaming kasal ni Michelle, di ba? Hindi ko yan nakikita nagalit. Nakita ko lang siya nagalit nung budget na yun.
yun na yun.
I never seen him mad. Doon lang talaga sa budget na yun.
Okay, now...
Kaya alam ko kami yun. 100%. Hindi na pa pwedeng ibang tao yun.
Now, before we go on to the 777, it's not easy being you also at this
Why?
point. I mean, you're speaking out.
Okay.
You know, you're alone. I'm hearing talk that some congressmen are actually upset that you're exposing the infirmities of the budget because it benefits a lot of them too. How do you do this na, you know, you are out there, you're boldly speaking out?
I've been there, done that, di ba? I've never chosen the popular path. I've always chosen the right path. Okay, balik tayo. I was mayor in nung tinatanggal si Erap, di ba? Ang reason naman nun kaya okay, tinatanggal si Erap, hindi naman ako kilala ni Erap eh. I think it was 7 days before he left. Tsaka lang ako sumama sa partido ni Erap. Sabi ng mga tao, nasiraan ka ng ulo, papaalis na yan, bakit ka sumama dyan? Ayoko nung extrajudicial na pagtanggal, tapusin yung impeachment, ayoko yung mag-walk out, tapos, I mean, that's water
People
under
power,
the bridge, diba?
But in
I'm
other
just
words,
saying,
you made that stand.
I made that stand, and GMA became president up to 2010. Hindi ako sumama kay GMA.
9 years.
9 years. And I was mayor at the time. Kailangan, I mean, may control sa amin noon. So, kay Erap ako, up to 2010 hanggang nakakulong. So, pag napanindigan ko, yun yung tama. And Michelle is very supportive of me. Even at in this time, sabi niya sa akin,
how is that?
Huh?
I mean, it's a how's the family dynamics?
Wala, sabi niya sa akin, basta kung ano yung tama, yun ang gawin mo. Huwag kang sasama kung...
So that's the wife everybody needs.
Huh?
That's the wife everybody needs to support the husband even if it affects...
Hindi, ang eksaktong sabi niya sa akin, huwag kang papayag na masira ka dyan.
Okay.
Yan yung sabi niya sa akin.
Sa budget.
No, not only regarding the budget. I mean, there were many issues that we could not agree on. Basta sinasabi niya, huwag kang papayag na masira ka dyan.
Okay, now, I mean, it's not national interest, but I wanted to bring it up. It was featured social media. In your family lunch, in the typical family lunch, it was noticed by a social media outfit. You weren't there. Toby Tiangco absent. So, what's gonna happen now?
No, how can I go? Sabit lang ako eh. Kaya lang ako imbitado dahil si Michelle ang pinsan eh. Diba siya yung family? Ayaw pumunta ni Michelle. Paano naman ako pupunta? Ako naman okay naman sa akin pumunta, diba? Yung tunay na kamag-anak, ayaw pumunta eh. Paano naman ako pupunta dun?
It's amazing that you're still smiling, ha? Okay, actually, now, let's talk about...
Ibig sabihin kasi, alam ko naman na hindi... Wala eh. Dapat kaya mong panindigan eh. Because history will haunt you.
Yeah.
Diba? History will haunt you. Sabi ko, what is popular will not always be popular, but what is right will always be right.
Now, have you ever spoken to the speaker about any of this at any point in time?
Yes.
And?
I mean, matagal na. But leave it. It's a private conversation. I mean, it's difficult because it's gonna be he said, she said. Wala naman akong ebidensya. It's a private conversation. But we've spoken about it.
Okay. Now, Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong was the first to discuss itong 777 expose. And you recently also said congressmen who joined the Bagong Pilipinas Serbisyo Fair received government aid allocations worth 7 million for AIC, 7 million for medical assistance, 7 million for TUPAD. That's a total of 21 million pesos.
That's not cash.
Okay,
Hindi
yes.
cash.
And you said it's required that the lawmakers go to the Speaker's office to secure the approval.
Not go to the Speaker's office, di ba? Okay, baka sabihin, niligwa ko yan. I was quiet about it. Tinanong ako nung isang reporter after the SONA, totoo ba yung 777? Alam, magsinungaling ako. Di ba? So sinabi ko, totoo. And, okay, ano ba yan? Di ba naglalagay ng pondo ng AIX, AKAP, and MAIP, and TUPAD, no? I think ang pinaka-importante dyan kasi is yung MAIP, yung Medical Assistance to Indigent Patients. Di ba yan yung parang wag silang So, pag ikaw may hawak nun, talagang hawak mo yung congressman. Paano matitiis ng congressman na dahil nanindigan siya, pag merong may sakit, wala siyang maitulong. Okay? So talagang ang hirap, di ba? And di ba, nung nagkaroon ng ruling doon sa PDAF, na ginawa unconstitutional, ang sinabi doon, hindi pa pwedeng post-enactment ng Congress, di ba? Ibig sabihin, pag pinasa ng Congress ang budget, hindi na niya pwedeng pakialaman. Okay? Ang sinasabi, okay, for example, ang sagot ng dalawa doon, si Congressman Asidre ng Tingog, of course, he will defend the Speaker. Ang sabi niya noon, no, the requests are just being endorsed. Hindi yan approval o disapproval. Oh, I am asking him now, bakit pag sumama ka sa bagong Pilipinas Servisyo Fair, meron kang 777. Kung hindi ka sumama, wala ka. Endorsement ba yan? O he has the authority to give and not to give? Very clear, the Speaker has the authority to give or not to give a district the soft funds. Not only dun sa 777. Kasi may basic kami, di ba? Pag kulang, dun kami magre-request sa portal. May portal yan. O tapos di ba pinakita ko nga yung text? Ano ba nakasulat nun sa text? Mamaya, hanapin ko pag may break up. Na yung the funds you requested from the Speaker. So, okay, pero niliwanagin ko, hindi po ito cash na binibigay. It is 7 million worth of AIX, 7 million worth of TUPAD, 7 million worth of AKAP, o minsan ginagawang 7 million worth of MAIP. So, maliwanag na aprubahan na namin yung budget, but still, the authority to give or not to give is with the Speaker. At meron talaga nababawian. Pag hindi ka sumunod, if you're not a good boy or a good girl, pwede kang bawian, pwede i-hold.
Is that fundamentally wrong?
Yes, because sinabi na nga doon sa bawal ang post-enactment. Our role is to approve the budget. After we approve the budget, hindi na namin pwedeng pakialaman yun kasi nasa executive branch na yon. It's up to the executive to implement it.
Okay. Now, in the 2026 budget, you have Senator Sherwin Gatchalian saying, if I'm saying this right, that he wants this to be the golden age of budget transparency. The lower house also said that they're going to open it to stakeholders, etc. One, do you believe that? Will there be a change in how
Hindi nga, ipakita muna. Okay, di ba, good faith. Good faith. Hindi pa pwede kasi, kalimutan na natin yung, yung 2025 budget. Let's move forward. Pero ng taong bayan, yan, paano natin kakalimutan, di ba? Let's be accountable. Kasi gano'n naman yung ginagawa namin sa budget, di ba? What do we do in the budget? Di ba tinatanong yung mga departamento, paano nyo ginastos? Di ba? It's either, kung hindi mo nagastos ng maayos, o kung may question, babawasan yung budget mo, di ba? Hindi, pakita natin, ano ba yung nangyari doon sa small committee, doon sa 20. Kasi at least yung BICAM, Karen, at least yung BICAM, makikita mo, I can show you, may report yon. May BICAM report na pinirmahan nung mga BICAM conferees. Ito ang budget, ito binawasan, ito ang bagong amount. Ito ang budget, ito ang dinagdag, ito ang bagong amount. Yung small committee, walang binibigay yon. So, nasaan? So, mas grabe yung small committee na yun kaysa doon sa BICAM. Yung BICAM may pinirmahan. Nasaan yung pinirmahan ng 4? Pakita nila.
So, when I interviewed Senate President Chis Escudero, I think that was last week, when I asked him about the alleged insertions, he was...
Again, sorry to interrupt you. Hindi naman lahat ng an insertion is an amendment to the budget. Kaya tinatawag na insertion yan Kasi binabawasan mo yung isang departamento, hindi lahat yan masama. Hindi lahat yan masama.
But in effect, because you have Senator Tito Soto, Senator Lacson, calling the 2025 budget scandalous, right? Egregious. Ang sinisi ni Cheese Escudero, technically, bakit kami tinatanong nyo yung House? Doon nagsimula lahat
kasi
yan. So he's right.
No, the budget emanates from the House.
But meaning these amendments, he's saying in effect,
doon nga sa small committee. Saan ba yung chance ng House na mag-amend? Sa small committee. Tapos, pag inaprubahan ng House, magkaibang version ng House, magkaiba yung version ng Senate, magkakaroon ng BICAM, doon ulit yung amendment. So, sinasabi ko nga, dalawang pagkakataon na mag-amend. Yung BICAM, ang problema, hindi nasa publiko, pero merong pinirmahan sila na ito yung...
At least, oo.
O nasaan yung report nung small committee?
Okay.
Wala nga ng report eh.
Ang tanong ko ngayon...
So hindi pa pwede, non-negotiable yan. Kung gusto namin pakita na transparent kami, pakita nila yung 2025 budget small committee.
Okay, you've been in Congress for so long. Is removing the small committee actually doable and possible?
Yes, kaya ko lang, that's why I'm as vocal. Dati, just for the record, sinabi ko na hindi ako dutol. Ngayon, kasi sinabi ng presidente, gusto ng presidente na magkaroon ng reforma, so may pag-asa.
Okay.
Di ba ang reason lang naman, I was watching sabi nila, kaya hindi pa pwede sa plenary kasi mahaba, 1,000 lines. O di magtrabaho kami ng Pero again, babalik ako, hindi ko papakawalan talaga yung 2025 small committee.
Oo, hindi ko papakawalan
Hindi ko papakawalan yan. We have to be accountable. Pero ng taong, hindi pa pwedeng, kalimutan na lang natin.
But who will investigate? Who do you think should?
Congressman Saldico should show. Kasi siya yung chairman nun, alam hindi niya, kung siya hindi niya alam, sinong gumawa nun.
But where is he?
He's here, he's still a congressman.
Okay.
So pakita niya. Di ba, ito, binawasan ko, dinala ko dito. Ito, binawasan ko, dinala ko dito.
But who is gonna question him?
No, I'm challenging him now. So the leadership...
He's never been really interviewed, huh?
No, the leadership of the House, since they are the leadership, they should demand it from him. Diba? Otherwise, we're just covering up each other's... diba? If the leadership of the House will not demand it from Congressman Saldico, that means we're just trying to cover up.
Should this be brought before the Supreme Court? You remember PDAF, during the time of Pinoy, it was brought to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court made a decision with a small committee. Should this be brought to the Supreme Court?
No, because... sinasabi ng leaders ng Congress, di ba, we're transparent. It just prove na yung sinasabi nyo ay totoo. Yun lang naman. Bakit pa tayo pupunta sa Supreme Court? Dadali sa Supreme Court yan kung sinasabi lang hindi totoo. But we have to hold them to their word, di ba? Sinabi mo yan, di ilabas nyo yung report ng small committee.
Okay. All right. I want to ask you very quickly. We have a few minutes left, no? So just to change topic, the Supreme Court decision essentially calling the impeachment emanating from the House unconstitutional, null and void ab initio. What are your thoughts? Did the Supreme Court overstep?
Ay nako, Karen, I don't want to I would want to avoid comment. Pero alam mo ako, purist ako, di ba? Purist ako eh. Purist ako eh. Ang akin is, of course, karapatan ng House of Representatives at lahat ng tutol doon sa decision na mag-file ng motion for reconsideration. But in the end, I would like to request everyone, kung ano man yung decision ng Supreme Court, igalang natin. Wala tayong choice eh. Wala tayong choice. Kasi may kanya-kanya tayong interpretasyon ng batas, di ba? Okay, ganito interpretasyon ng House, ganito interpretasyon ng Senate. Kung hindi natin susundin Supreme Court, sino magsasabing sinong tama? Tapos pag hindi na natin sinunod yung wala na, magkakagulo. Ibig sabihin, di ba, ang Supreme Court ang nagdidesisyon ng lahat, final arbiter. Pag hindi na natin sunod yung Supreme Court, tanggalin na natin yung kulungan, kasi wala na eh. Ibig sabihin, pag may nahatulan, sabihin niya, hindi totoo, ayoko yung sumunod eh. Kung yung mga mambabatas ayaw sumunod, bakit ako susunod? Wala nang kulungan, wala nang pulis, wala na. Magkakagulo-gulo tayo. Of course, that's the extreme scenario. No? Pero ayaw naman, I'm just showing an extreme scenario kung bakit natin kailangan igalang yung Korte Suprema. Whether we agree, we disagree. Kasi paano kung naging favorable naman yung kung sinabi nilang constitutional, ibig sabihin, papayag ka. Ano sabihin ng kabila? Huwag natin sundin. Hindi naman, I mean, ang tanong ko, what is a better option kung hindi natin sundin? What is a better option? Tsaka hindi naman mawawala yung pinaka-importante, hindi mawawala yung accountability. Sinasabi, i-file nyo na lang sa, I'm not defending. Sinasabi ko, assuming na sabihin they sustain their decision, hindi naman mawawala yung accountability kasi i-file mo lang sa February 6, madedelay lang. Di ba? Of course, I respect everyone's decision on this matter, but purist ako dyan Kasi nga, dahil nga doon sa di ba? Again, I mean, yun, sinasabi ko, dapat tapusin. The ERAP, Corona. So, yun, di ba?
Okay. Now, I read the petition that was brought before the Supreme Court and then the decision of the Supreme Court. But the Secretary General of the House was in some sections of the complaint where it did not follow the rules of submitting it to the Speaker's office within a period of 10 days.
Yes, but it's so, Karen, sana ito, huwag mo nang pasagot sa akin kasi medyo divisive, di ba? Total, kahit ano naman sabihin ko, doesn't matter. Because what matters is the decision of the Supreme Court. So ayoko nang, pasensya na.
Okay.
Ayoko nang pag-usapan yan kasi kahit anong opinion ko, does not matter. It's what the Supreme Court says that will matter. So huwag na natin pag-usapan yung mga bagay na magkakasakitan lang.
Okay, all right.
We respect both sides.
Now, wait, you are an independent. Let's go back to that. Okay, you are an independent in the lower house. What does that mean? It's like the Senate now, right? Noong una, there was supposed to be an independent bloc and it's been settled. It's majority, minority. What is that? What do you mean?
No, I'm not aligned with the majority.
That's a given?
Hindi rin ako sasama dun sa
minority. So what happens to you, and are you 34? How many are you?
Na independents?
Or supposedly independents. Are you 3 or 34? Ilang kayo? Because 34 didn't vote for the Speaker.
No, 34 didn't vote. That's why I qualified my abstinence from the vote kasi pag nag-abstain ka, automatic ibibilang ka minority. Pero kinarify ko na hindi rin ako sasama sa minority at mag-independent ako.
So what does that mean?
So, yun lang. Hindi kami part. Ngayon, hindi ko alam kung bibigyan kami ng committee memberships o hindi.
Yeah. So what does that mean for your constituents?
For my constituents, I think they're happy that I stand up for what's right. Kasi yun naman yung pagkakilala nila sa akin sa nabotas kung ano yung tama, paglalaban natin. So, yun. I think yung independent talaga, hindi naman 34 kasi karamihan nun sumama sa minority.
Yeah. Okay. And
I'm not sure of the numbers, no?
Yeah.
Pero nakakausap ko sa independents is siyempre si Albi tsaka si Kong Albi tsaka Kong Du. Kasi kami independents na supportive of the president. I think there's other independents that are not supportive of the president.
Okay, that's a very good definition and delineation. So how do you move, the three of you, how do you move forward from this? What do you do in the 20th Congress? You, Congressman Frasco, Congressman Benitez.
Depends nga kasi ang difference lang naman nung may membership ka is boboto ka. Doon naman sa independent ka, pwede ka naman mag-attend, hindi ka lang makakaboto. Pero ilan lang naman pinagbobotohan na sa committee doon, di ba? Yung iba naman, wala naman mga objections. So you can still participate, you can still do your job. Ang reality dito, I mean, sa legislative work sa tingin ko, walang problema. Ang reality dito is kung ganun pa rin yung sistema na kontrolado na speaker yung soft, siguro sa galit sa amin, hindi na kami bibigyan.
So, ang mangyayari, wala ka ngayong source for medical assistance.
Ayun, medyo mahirap.
Mahirap yun.
Mahirap yun. Kaya lang,
mahirap yun.
Anong gagawin mo? Wala You have to make a stand, di ba? You have to make a stand.
Doesn't this also reek, systemically of patronage politics?
Okay, it's good you ask that, no?
Yes.
Ang problema, Karen, tanongin kita, yung hindi makabayad sa ospital, saan pupunta? Hindi, kanino? Kanino?
I mean, ideally, they should go to the hospital under the ideally universal healthcare, and it's free. Ideal yon.
Pero kung hindi
because
sila
there's a law.
kung may singil, saan sila pupunta? Either pupunta yan sa mayor o pupunta sa congressman, di ba? Yung MAIP, sa tingin ko, baka pwede ma-institutionalize dahil sa universal health law, di ba? Pero hanggat hindi na institutionalize, kanino siya hihingi ng
pandagdag o
hindi,
pambayad?
Pambayad, di ba? Siyempre pupunta yan sa congressman. Di ba? Yun ang problema. So, kung gagawin naman lang walang bayad, ang naisip ko lang is kasi yung MAIP ngayon nagagamit na sa private hospital.
Yeah. Oo.
Di ba?
Oo.
O, paano naman ang gagawin doon? Ngayon, yung aid naman doon sa indigents, ang problema is, of course, napakagaling ni Sec Rex, no? So, kung siya mag-aasikaso sa constituents namin, okay sa amin. Pero, ang nakikita ko lang practical problem is, kasi yung payout niyan, hinahati-hati doon sa payout teams eh. Kasi hindi naman everyday siya nabotas eh.
I see.
Diba? Kung papapuntahin mo pa silang Moraita o somewhere else, mamamasahe pa yung tao, diba? Tsaka kung lahat ng Metro Manila pupunta doon.
So it's really a complex system of actually distributing aid.
Yes.
Technically speaking.
Actually, kung lahat siguro may digital wallet, baka naman pwede, diba? I mean, there are ways eh.
Okay.
Sa amin lang naman, basta yung constituent, kasi sa amin pupunta.
Yeah.
Diba? Sa amin pupunta.
Okay.
Diba? Paano gagawin namin?
Okay.
Diba?
Well, it's 8:55 in the morning, the show's till 9, but I want to ask you your last words, okay, to the speaker. And I guess, at the end of the day, the clearest thing you've said here is, you know, infirmities in the budget affect the president's legacy. It affects his performance.
Yeah, but most
People blame him.
importantly, it affects the lives of people. Okay, yung sinasabi, ang tinitignan natin kasing corruption is yung corruption doon sa mga ginawa na palpak. Pero hindi ba corruption yung dapat maipagawa na hindi na ipagawa at hindi nakinabang yung mga tao
at ibinulsa.
Dahil dinala kung saan-saan yung sa hindi naman
dapat.
Hindi dapat. That is also corruption.
Absolutely.
So hindi one way na pinagkakitaan. Yung hindi nagawa na kailangan ng tao na mapakinabangan dahil for one reason or another na ilipat kung saan-saan, corruption din yun eh kasi hindi nakinabang yung tao eh.
So, do you have a statement for the speaker? Is there anything you want to say?
Okay, hindi, ganito lang. Okay, if we are serious, babalik na naman ako.
Oh, go.
If we are serious, ilabas natin yung ginawa ng small committee noong 2025 budget. Pakita natin, o doon tayo magsimula. Kasi doon natin makikita kung ano yung pagkakamali.
And have Zaldico report and answer.
No, because kasi siya yung head nung ano na yun eh. So dapat sabihan si Saldi, ilabas mo yan. Diba? Pakita natin sa publiko kung ano ba yung ginawa natin doon sa small committee.
Alright.